Hey everyone, so this is a slightly different one to normal, but I wanted to share because why not? Firstly, my cat is asleep on my pajamas. God love him. Okay, so Saturday night I went to a party. Now, I'm not one to go to parties in general. I don't like big crowds of people, particularly people I don't know particularly well, but the people who invited me and my partner, they're lovely and we love them. So of course we were going to go. Anyway, so we get to the party and it's all very nice and it's for a very good occasion. So it's a joyous thing. Now, when there's lots of people, particularly people I don't know, I feel very, very uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. And, you know, I've got quite a stern looking face when I'm not smiling. And ironically, I heard my partner. I always say my partner. I still find the word husband to be very peculiar to say out loud. But anyway, my partner was there with me and his mother. And I heard him in the sort of not too distant away from me saying, look at his face. Because of course I wasn't smiling. So it looked like I was like, when I really wasn't, I was just feeling, as I normally do, uncomfortable. So at the end of the night, we had to take his mother back home. And as we were leaving, a very nice gentleman who I have actually spoken to maybe once before, very nice man. He came up to us and was chatting as we were leaving. And he said to me, he said, you're a very quiet man and you're such a handsome man that you think you'd be working this room. And it was a nice thing to say, very kind thing to say. And then he looked up and said, I wish I was more like you. Now, the gentleman who said this to me, he is incredibly nice and fun and happy and smiley and can talk to anyone and work the room beautifully. I do not have that talent at all. I've never been able to do that. Perhaps I need practice, but it's just not in my nature to be that way. And I thought it was such a nice thing for him to say, to give me a compliment like that, but also to say that he wished he was more like me, because why anybody would wish that is beyond me. You know, for someone like me, it was a very strange thing to hear because, I've never heard it before from anyone. But coming from somebody who I wish I was more like, because he is such fun and so energetic and lively and passionate and funny. Now, I'm a funny person. I think I'm a funny person, but not in that kind of environment. I find it very difficult I just feel about that small all the time. And I think what I do for a living with the whole YouTube thing compounds that, because people know what I do for a living. And then you walk in and you've got a stern face and you're like one of those stuck up YouTube twats that no one likes, you know, so I just always feel sort of that big whenever I go to parties. But it was such a kind thing to say to me, and it was very profound to hear that, because I don't think of myself that way, certainly not, but from somebody who I wished I were more like. It was a very, it was kind. It was very kind. He's a very lovely man. I think his name is Alan, but I might be mistaken. But very lovely man. God love my cat there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful creature. So that's what happened. I know it's not ground-worthy and probably didn't deserve a video, but I've been thinking about it ever since, because I so wish I were more like that. People ask me why I've never done any master classes or anything like that. That's why, because I don't have the confidence to do them. It would terrify me to be on stage. It would terrify me to be in a room filled with people, assuming it was filled. It's just so far away from my nature, which is to be slightly withdrawn and very quiet. But I just wanted to share because I know that if nothing else, it's good to talk, but it will resonate with certain people out there. It's a funny, funny old world. My partner said to me a while back that I suffer from imposter syndrome. He is, of course, absolutely right. I do. It's interesting, right? So this is fun. when you see comments, or I see comments on YouTube, I've done something, it's a technique or whatever, people will say very kind things 9 times out of 10. You're so talented, you're just all this kind of stuff. And I think, no, I'm not. And I'm not trying to belittle my own worth. I'm truly stating, no, I'm not. I'm not particularly talented in the slightest. I can't draw, I have no real artistic ability, but I was and am very passionate about makeup. And that passion transcended the natural ability that a lot of people have, because I had to work incredibly hard to do the most basic things. And I do suffer from imposter syndrome. When I see comments like that, I think, no, it's not me. I'm not great in the slightest. I'm very average at all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, so anyway, thanks for sharing. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.